But yeah,
Yeah.
what's next on the agenda, Mash?
Yep, yep. So, earlier, a couple days ago, the SEC, they announced they will have a TV special on Tuesday, kind of like how LeBron had a TV special of him going to Miami. But they're going to announce each school's permanent and revolving opponents for the next 4 years. It'll focus on keeping, traditions alive, while also keeping in mind, to keep it fair and balanced. So, I like the fact that they're thinking about this in 4 year chunks. So, as the SEC announced in August that each team will be playing, nine conference opponents now. So they're going to announce three permanent opponents and then six revolving for the next 4 years. From the SEC website, this new format will allow each team to play every other SEC program at least once every 2 years, and every opponent home and away in 4 years, making it the most fair and balanced schedule in the history of the conference. So that's nice. In theory, if a player stays for 4 years at one school, they will visit every stadium within the SEC, within the conference. And I think if they're able to do that, then that's great. SEC teams are also required to schedule at least one additional high quality non-conference game from the ACC, Big Ten, or Big 12 or Notre Dame each season. A lot of teams are already doing that, right? So I don't know how much that will change, but Georgia, for example, plays Georgia Tech. Florida plays Florida State. South Carolina plays Clemson. But I guess it'll change up a few of these teams, obviously. So I
Mhm.
wanted to play a game with you, Aaron. Actually, let's each pick two teams. I'm going to ask you to pick two teams, and you tell me who you would want the permanent opponents to be. All right, I'm gonna give you a second. Think about it. Um, Okay, so pick two teams. Tell me who you think the three opponents should be, based on tradition, based on uh, competitive balance, all that sort of stuff.
Okay. Um, the first I'm gonna have to go with here is gonna be Alabama, right?
Okay.
Um, the thing that you hit on that's really sticking to me is just keeping those traditions alive.
Hmm.
And so the three teams I would have to go with, you have to keep the Iron Bowl there. So
Yep.
Auburn,
Auburn.
Alabama.
Hmm.
I think you have to keep LSU, Alabama in there. And then lastly, you have to keep the third week of October in there, and that's
Mm.
Tennessee, right?
Yep. Yep.
So I think those games are just gonna keep traditions alive, keep ticket sales alive, and then you have teams who I feel like they're at different tiers of competitiveness. So it feels like it's not going to be just an overwhelming.
That's tough every year though.
Yeah, no, it is. It
Yeah.
definitely is, but I feel like it's been their norm for forever. So
Right.
yep. And then my second team, right? The interesting one, you got Texas, a team that's new to the SEC. It doesn't really have too many traditions or favorites, but you have a couple, right? So I feel like you have to keep Texas A&M.
Hmm.
You have to keep Oklahoma,
Yep.
and I don't know why, but like I have an inkling that they're gonna keep Georgia as that third team. I don't know
You think
why.
so? Okay.
I just feel like that's gonna be the third
It's
team.
good for TV for sure.
It is, and that's why I think there's gonna be a selling point or influence to keep that game on the schedule. Yep.
Gotcha.
So yeah, what about for you, Mash?
Yeah, I'll start with LSU. I think Alabama, you said LSU when you were talking about Alabama. I think that's the biggest game of their year there. Another one, Florida. It to me it's always like they're battling over who gets to be the state with the biggest swamps when they play Florida. So I think that one has to stay there. And just looking at the map, Arkansas is right above Louisiana. I think that's a like they have a trophy for that game. I think I'm not sure, but I think Arkansas would be a good balance um, to that schedule. Even though Florida has been not looking that great. But anyway, I would say for LSU, I would say Alabama, Florida, and Arkansas. My second team, I think I'll go with Tennessee. They're doing pretty hot right now, so they're pretty relevant. Yeah, third Saturday in October with all the cigars and everything. You got to keep Alabama for Tennessee. Um, the battle for bourbon. you got to go with Kentucky. Who's making the best whiskey, right?
Mhm.
Um, and you got to keep the in-state, Vandy. Um, Vandy is up and down, mostly on an upward trajectory right now, but I think that that's pretty good. That's a decent schedule for Tennessee. Very doable.